Should you be investing in North Melbourne in 2026? And specifically, I'm talking about the pockets of suburbs like Meadow Heights, Roxburgh Park, Coolaroo, Campbellfield, all the way up to possibly even Craigieburn. Is 2026 still going to be a good time to invest into these locations? Because there is a lot of growth that has already been happening in this location. But to answer this question, we need to look at the data of some of these underlying suburbs, because there is, in fact, still some value there, still some great opportunities there. And if you're a smart investor, you can spot those opportunities and purchase the right type of investment. And so when we look at the data, let's have a look at this location here, which is Meadow Heights. You can see the median buy price is around $715,000 with a yield of around 3.6. Now you can find properties for around $650,000 with a yield of about 4 to 4.5%, but the average yield is sitting a lot lower these days. And we start to look at the data, we can see that Meadow Heights has already grown about 12% over the past 12 months. So it's already performing very, very strongly. And we look at the median rents, it's only having around a 2.5% increase, which isn't bad. We can acceptably trade that off. Socioeconomics is pretty low, and that's going to be a common factor across the entirety of North Melbourne. But Meadow Heights is a little bit better with the 31% rented to owner occupier ratio, and affordability is on the higher side now, around 50 years. It's getting pretty high, even by a capital city metric. Now, of course, this is a leading factor when you have enough heat from the market from owner occupiers, first buyer home schemes, as well as buyers agents. It's still going to keep growing in value. And this is reflective in the data as well. When we look at the stock on market, it is absolutely plummeting, and demand is really starting to skyrocket in this location. Now, we can see vacancy rates sitting a bit more on the higher side of 3%. Now, it's still best to chat with the property manager because HTAG can be a little bit off in terms of the vacancy rate. And this is also reflective on SQM research. When you look at the postcode of 3048, you can see that stock levels have been plummeting over the past 6 to 12 months, which is indicative of the house price increases of 12% or so. And this is not only evident in the suburb of Meadow Heights, which is one of my favorite suburbs in North Melbourne. You can also look at other locations like Jacana, which is a similar buy price, but you can see prices have started increasing with a 4% increase. The rents haven't been rising, but when you look at the stock levels and demand levels, it is sitting fairly low and fairly competitive. In a similar vein, you look at Coolaroo, which is next door to Meadow Heights, a pocket that has been actively growing over the past 6 months, and you start to look at the data, you can see also a very similar 12% increase over the past 12 months and a good renter to owner occupier ratio of around 29%. Now, once again, affordability on the much higher side of 50 years, so it's getting quite unaffordable for local residents. Now, can this affect long-term growth? Yes, but short-term growth is still going to be there because of the said factors of all the heat, the buyer schemes, and more. And once again, this is reflective of the data of the very low stock levels and very high increasing demand levels of this area. And if we go to next door to Coolaroo, we can actually see Campbellfield. Now, Campbellfield is a little bit more of a commercial area. Now, yes, Coolaroo has a bit of a commercial aspect to it as well, but Campbellfield has a lot more of that. And so there isn't as much residential pockets, but it is still worth considering if you do have the right budget, because prices are increasing, rents are rising, and it's still a decent option to consider, especially in this current environment with stock levels so low and demand increasing. And nearby to Campbellfield, Coolaroo, and Meadow Heights, you have one location that everyone on social media talks about, which is Dallas. Now, Dallas is not a good location in terms of socioeconomic perspective, but it is a location from a capital growth standpoint. It is looking very healthy, especially in the short term, with about 10% increases and another 1% in rent rise, right? Again, pretty low socioeconomic score, decent renter to owner occupier ratio, and a pretty low unaffordability rate of around 50 years. But overall, stock levels are down and days on market is very high or very low, in suggesting that the demand is very high of this location. And just before I continue on with the video, if you guys haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to the private community. We have close to 350 members helping each and every single person out every single day. We have so much discussion over various different topics, various different locations, and we were talking about these locations 12 months ago, and people have already made $50,000 to $100,000 in some of these pockets. You don't want to be the person that misses out once again. Jump into the private community. Let's get back into the video. Now, if you've noticed something across across all this entire location, I've said a couple of things which you need to factor in, right? There is extremely low stock levels. There is extremely high demand levels. A lot of buyers agents are buying in this area. There's a lot of interest in the market from owner occupiers in this area, and it is still a very competitive market. Now, put all those three things into combination, we are going to get capital growth over the next 6 to 12 months. Now, in combination with the 5% buyer scheme that Mr. Anthony Albanese has brought in, it is going to continue to fuel this market to continue to uplift prices. But the one thing you have noticed across every single one of these locations that I've tapped into is a couple of things. Number one is affordability. Affordability is sitting at now 50 years and it's becoming quite unaffordable for the local residents of this area. Now, what this means is that once the growth does happen and finish in Meadow Heights and in across North Melbourne, we are going to go through what is likely a big stagnation period where prices don't increase for a period of time, say 3 years, much like what happened over the last period after the COVID growth happened. Is that a bad thing? No, because that is normal. That is ebbs and flows of property investing. Property prices don't grow endlessly. It is a normal part of the journey. That is okay. Now, the other thing you have to also factor in is vacancy rate. Now, vacancy rate across North Melbourne is increasing, which means that it's becoming harder to find a quality tenant, or you are not getting the expected rent return that you initially thought you would get. Is that a bad thing? Yes and no. Not being able to raise rents or get a higher rent is going to affect your cash flow, could affect the way you maintain your property and more, but you will get the capital growth over the next 6 to 12 months and the foreseeable future. So it's an acceptable trade-off you will have to look to make. But realistically, if you are to enter this area of Meadow Heights, this North Melbourne pockets, you do really need to understand you need around $650,000 to find a good quality asset. This one here was sold on the 25th of August, which is only a 3x1, was sold for $690,000. Now, overall, it's a pretty decent property. You can rent it out straight away, fairly modern, a nice brick home. You can hold it for the next 30 years with minimal issues if you've got a good tenant in this property. And when I looked at the rents, you're really going to get an average rent of around $480 per week or so. And so when I adjust the price to be reflective, this one is going to only yield you about 3.62%. Yes, there are other properties where you can get above 4%, but those opportunities are becoming harder to find. So realistically, I want to set your expectations right. Your negative cash flow is going to really look around negative $23,000, negative $24,000 per year before tax considerations, right? Of course, once you get tax considerations, it's going to be a negative 15. Now, over time, your rents will increase, your rates will drop, and your cash flow position will look better. But there's a couple of other things you need to understand with Melbourne as well. One is stamp duty. The higher price points you go around 690, 700, 800K, you're going to pay a hefty sum in stamp duty, like 40K. So if you're in it to ride for the short term, it's really not worth it because you're paying so much in terms of property transaction costs, right? You don't want to be paying 40K just to then sell after 2 years and not net much in profit. So really be careful about investing with the short-term mindset. It really should be with a long-term mindset. The other thing you need to consider is, again, once you start entering the higher price points, you will also start paying a heftier sum in terms of land tax, around $2,000 to $2,500 extra per year, which will affect your net yields, right? So this will start to look a little bit lower as well. And usually my investing really relies on finding properties above 5% yields. I will accept something closer to 4.5% if it's a good quality property. But when you start looking at properties below 4%, it can get a little bit hairy, especially when it comes to cash flow and then continually being able to build your portfolio. I'm telling you all of this because North Melbourne still provides excellent opportunity to purchase good quality assets for a long-term hold in Melbourne. It's worth it. But I'm seeing the mistake of some investors purchasing low yield investment properties, which don't help you when it comes to building a property portfolio and helping you scale a property portfolio. You need decent yields and you need good quality assets to continue building over a long time. And if it doesn't fit your bill, don't buy it, just buy somewhere else. But for those investors who are still looking for opportunities across North Melbourne, you can find assets in Meadow Heights, Rossburg Park, Coolaroo, Campbellfield for around $650,000, $625,000 for a half decent property with around 4 to 4.5% yield. And look, Hume City and wider North Melbourne is a good location to consider. It's fairly economically diversified and it's also a capital city. So I'm not too concerned from that perspective. It's not a regional town nonetheless. And over time, Hume City will continue to explode in population with the influx of immigration, with a lot of youngsters moving over to Melbourne CBD as well, because Sydney is becoming unaffordable. Queensland is really becoming unaffordable as well. And the population is expected to boom to around 420,000, 410,000 people by 2046, which is about 50% change change, which is quite insane when you really think about it. So a lot of people are going to come into this wider Hume City region, which includes the likes of, Dallas, Campbellfield, Meadow Heights. And the thing with Melbourne is that you can only start building further and further out. That makes these locations in a city more and more premium over time. And by 2046, your asset that's worth $690,000, $650, could be worth many millions of dollars 30 years from now. So it's something to keep in mind. But for those of you who know Melbourne and know North Melbourne specifically, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It is fairly a lower socioeconomic area filled with a bit of crime here and there. In fact, all you have to do is search up Melbourne, North Melbourne crime, and you can find news stories and articles. This one was 2 months ago, where an underworld figure was shot dead, which you guys can go have a read about. And when you look at the crime of the area, you can see that, they've got quite a bit of crime in Campbellfield, like theft, burglary, assault, Quillaroo, a lot of theft. Meadow Heights tends to be one of the nicer areas, same as Roxburgh Park, and Craigieburn as well tends to be a lot better than the pockets of Broadmeadows, Campbellfield, Quillaroo, etc. But overall, we've proven time and time again that lower socioeconomic areas or areas of high crime do not correlate to capital growth. We still see these areas grow in value over time. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm telling you that because I want you to find a good tenant to put in your property so that it doesn't attract the wrong crowd. And there's also one other consideration you do want to factor in when purchasing into this North Melbourne pocket is that it is very close to the airport. And what that means is that there's going to be a lot of air traffic noise, plane noise, and you really want to find properties that aren't under this airport overlay. Now, it makes it pretty hard if you're looking specifically at like Dallas or Coolaroo or Campbellfield, but it's still possible to find properties. If you do find a property under this overlay, just please double check with a property manager just to see if there's huge disturbances from this air traffic noise. If there is low noise, then it's something you could look to trade off for the right asset. Overall, do I see there's still opportunity across this North Melbourne pocket? Yes, I do. Do I see prices increasing well into 2026? Yes, I do. But like I said, there is a couple of things you have to be aware of. It is extremely competitive market. People are paying 20, 30, sometimes 50 grand over the market value of the property to secure it. Yields are falling. And once it starts hitting, 3% yields, it really doesn't make sense to buy and hold this asset because it's just going to drain too much cash flow out of your pocket. So if you can find a property that's at a good price and a yield of about 4 to 4.5%, I would snap that up because that's a good deal. Anything less than that, you need to be careful. But of course, do your own due diligence. Make sure it fits your strategy. Make sure it fits your overall long-term goals, and make sure you're buying the right quality assets. And if you need any help with that, jump into the private community, guys. We have close to 350 members helping each other out every single day. You'd be an absolute fool not to join. It's $35 a month. It costs less than a KFC meal, and there is so much resources jam-packed into this. Till next time, thank you very much.